We almost made a huge mistake when we first moved here to Salem, Oregon, when choosing the right neighborhood for us, because in Salem, not every neighborhood fits the same lifestyle. And that's why I'm doing this video, because in my opinion, choosing the neighborhood is actually more important than choosing the right home. You can always make changes to a home, but you can't make changes to a neighborhood, or at least it takes a long time for changes to happen. Different parts of Salem are going to offer you different lifestyle choices, and I'm going to give you a quick brief rundown of some of the categories we're going to be over. We're going to go over neighborhoods that give you the quietest lifestyle, neighborhoods that are easiest access to the downtown area, neighborhoods that are really close to amenities, neighborhoods for luxury if that's what you're looking for. And at the end of the video, I'm going to give you my final recommendations and opinions, and you should have a much more clear picture on what neighborhood is going to be best for you depending on the lifestyle you're looking for when moving to Salem, Oregon. The first category we're going to go with is quietest neighborhood. Now, for me and my family, this was really important. For a lot of clients that I helped move to Salem, Oregon, it's important for them as well. It's a big reason why people move to Salem. They're looking for a little bit more peace and quiet, especially people that are moving away from bigger and larger cities. And what defines quiet neighborhood to me is neighborhoods that don't have a lot of cut-through traffic, where people are going through the neighborhood to get to another neighborhood. Neighborhoods where you don't have a lot of noise from the city itself, or neighborhoods that aren't super close to larger streets where you're going to hear cars and people commuting to and from work or wherever they're going. We're first going to start off in the Fairmont Hill neighborhood in South Salem. As a map's popping up, you can see where it is in relation to the rest of Salem. This neighborhood is amazing, especially if you are looking for that kind of Pacific Northwest charm with craftsman style homes, bungalow homes, and the larger homes with larger lots. This neighborhood is super quiet. In fact, there's only a few streets that will get you into the neighborhood, and there's only one street that has a traffic light from Commercial, which is the main street adjacent to the neighborhood or below the neighborhood, that goes into this area as well. That's actually could be a plus or a minus, because if you're trying to get out of the neighborhood, it's a little bit more difficult if you're trying to access the streets that don't have a traffic light, because it's harder to turn onto. But with that said, this neighborhood is really quiet. It has its own park in the neighborhood that really no one else in the city would go to because it's so tucked away. So really, the park is accessed by by people that live in the neighborhood. There's a few little walking paths that will cut through different streets to get you throughout the neighborhood. The governor's mansion is also in this neighborhood. Now, I didn't get a good B-roll shot of this because they don't really like you poking around and walking around the grounds to show the house, but it is there. This neighborhood was established when kind of the big wigs of the city, when it first established, this is where they built their homes. This is where they lived, because it gave them really easy access to the downtown area. It gave them easy access to the state capitol and all the government buildings. So as far as close to amenities, this could go in that category as well. But again, this goes to quiet neighborhood. When you are here, you see people walking their dogs, strolling around. And when you get out your car, you really don't hear a lot of traffic noise. And you certainly don't see a lot of people cutting through, racing through to get to other parts of the city. So if you are looking for that traditional, quintessential Pacific Northwest style light living, a little bit bigger homes and that charm and quiet neighborhood, this is going to be for you. The next neighborhood, we're going to be going a little bit further south into South Salem, and that's the Sunny Slope neighborhood. And like Fairmont, this neighborhood is really quiet too, because there's no reason to cut through to other neighborhoods. And that's kind of the theme when it comes to quiet neighborhoods, as I mentioned before. This neighborhood, basically, the people you see in and around this neighborhood are the people that live here. Now, unlike Fairmont Hill, you're not going to find a lot of that old world charm, that old Pacific Northwest charm, the large craftsman and bungalow style homes. That's not what you're going to find here, but you are going to find beautiful homes that are more like ranch style or traditional homes, mid-century, in this neighborhood. And in this neighborhood, you're going to find a big section that has a lot of the old growth trees that really give you the Pacific Northwest vibes that a lot of people move here for. What I like about this neighborhood is that it isn't really set up like a grid. So a lot of the streets are meandering. There's some roundabouts and curves and turns. So it really forces people that are driving through the neighborhood to get to their home to slow down, which makes it, again, a little bit more quieter, a little bit more slower paced. Some of the streets are wider in this particular neighborhood. Again, gives you that sense of freedom, that sense of space. There's also a really cool hiking trail right here, right in the middle of the neighborhood. You just walk down to this one street that's kind of the dead end and opens you up right into this really cool trail. It's a very short, easy walking trail, but Again, if you're in the neighborhood, you want to take your dog for a walk or just get away, right away you're in this little forested area, very peaceful, and just a really quiet spot to go right there in the Sunny Slope neighborhood. This neighborhood is also close enough to amenities where you don't feel completely isolated. There are a few more ways in and out of this neighborhood, so it's a little different feel than Fairmont, where you can access a few different main streets like Kubler or Liberty. But again, the great thing about this neighborhood is that it's really tucked away, so you don't have a lot of that through traffic making it quiet. Moving even further south into South Salem, we've got Creekside Estates, and I'm calling this one out because this one is super quiet. It is a golf course community, so you may hear the hits of a golf ball, but there's something really relaxing about that. At least for me, I can't explain it, but it is. A lot of large trees here in this area, and again, this is a neighborhood where you're really only going to if you live here, because there's no other reason. There's no reason to cut through the neighborhood to get somewhere else, because it is a bit isolated. There's only a couple of ways to get in and out of this neighborhood, making it really quiet and really peaceful. And again, this is a little bit more of a hillside properties where the streets a little bit twist and turn. So again, you're not having people just rush through the neighborhood. It really slows everybody down. Great areas to walk. It's really close to a community park. And so very inviting for people that are looking for that peace and quiet. You're not hearing the hum of the city at all. In fact, you're almost as far south as you can go in Salem. You can go a little bit further, but this is pretty far south, and you're almost adjacent to some of the more of the countryside and farmland in this area. So that would be recommended for people that maybe want that golf course vibe along with a quiet vibe. Now I'm going to jump into one of our most unique neighborhoods, also one of our more quiet neighborhoods, and that is Pringle Creek. This is an agrihood, and if you're not familiar with that is, it's when you kind of combine agriculture and neighborhood. This has a community greenhouse, a community garden, community orchards, and so it's very inviting for people that want that shared community vibe. It's really quiet. People are out walking around. People are in their tending their garden, tending the orchards. There's also a lot of walking trails that take you in and out the neighborhood. There's a little creek, Pringle Creek, that runs through this neighborhood, making it even more peaceful when you hear kind of that babbling brook or the babbling creek through your neighborhood. The charm of this neighborhood is that what I like to call it also a front porch neighborhood. You don't have a lot of backyard space. In fact, some homes don't have any backyards, and you don't have a lot of property surrounding your home, and that could be a downside for people that are looking for a little bit more space. The homes are really close together, again, creating that community buzz, that community vibe. But a lot of people hang out on their front porches because it is so peaceful. It is so quiet. You're saying hi to your neighbors that are walking by. It's very inviting, as I mentioned, and you see a lot of people out and about, and it's a bit tucked away from much of Salem. Now, I will say, as it does land on my quiet neighborhood list because of all of what I've just mentioned, you do need to be aware of some of the airport traffic because it is closer to the airport, so you will hear that. The good news is it's a small airport, private planes. There's no more commercial planes flying out as of the making of this video. There was shortly before, a few months ago, and there may be bringing in commercial planes again. But outside of that, it's just, again, it's peaceful. You just feel like you're surrounded by nature and agriculture. Now we're going to move out of the South Salem region and move into West Salem, the West Salem Hills specifically. This is actually where my family and I chose to live. We almost chose another neighborhood, which I'm going to talk about later, that we thought was going to give us the vibe we were looking for. But in the end, we were looking for something that was really quiet and peaceful and truly away from the buzz of the city. And we found that in the hills of West Salem. Now, I'm not going to call out specific neighborhoods, sub-neighborhoods in West Salem, because there's so many of them in the hills. Just know that if you are in the hills and the outer edges of West Salem, super quiet. There again, the criteria is not a lot of cut-through traffic and not a lot of city noise, and this is it to the T, and it's why we chose it. We are as far out to the city limits as you can be, yet we're still really close to amenities, so that's a plus. But when I say it's quiet, we are hearing frogs, we are hearing crickets, we are hearing owls, we see deer across the street, or sometimes we hear nothing, and it is beautiful. We don't hear the buzz really of any major street. We don't hear the buzz of the downtown area. We're really far away from the airport, so we're not getting any of that noise. really peaceful, tranquil, and quiet. Many of the streets and houses have spectacular views of the Cascade Mountains, again, just leading to that peaceful and that tranquility. And there's nobody really cutting through West Salem to get to anywhere, because there's no reason to, unless you're going into the wine country or heading out to McMinnville, or yeah, actually that would be it, because if you're going to other parts, you're not really cutting through the hills. And that's kind of a drawback for why people don't choose West Salem, because it is further away and you got to drive maybe 10, 15 minutes to get to the downtown area across the bridge. But if you were looking for quiet like we were tired of the big city rat race, the big city buzz, this was perfect for us. We have hills, we have meandering streets, people drive slowly. There's no one cutting through the neighborhood to get to other places. And so we feel very free. Kids just go out and play. It's quiet, peaceful to walk in and around the neighborhoods at night. So if that's what you're looking for and you want to be on the west side, West Salem, suggest the Hills area. Now we're going to head into the northern portions of Salem, the Jan Rhee area. This is about northeast as you can get before kind of getting into, or north, I should say, is about as far north as you can get before hitting Kaiser. Now, this is surprisingly quiet. I was just surprised myself. It's actually one of the most affordable, quote-unquote, quiet neighborhoods on this list. And you are close enough to amenities, especially if you're going to go into Kaiser. But the streets tend to be a little bit wider here. You have some more older growth trees, wider lot sizes too, and the homes are a little bit more spaced out. And again, this is one of those neighborhoods where you're not cutting through it to get to anywhere else. If you are going into this neighborhood, besides me driving to get some B-roll to show you on this video, you are living in this neighborhood, because it doesn't really take you anywhere else. And there's only a couple of streets that dump you into this neighborhood. So if you are looking in the more of the northern sections of Salem, if that makes more sense as far as proximity to where you're going to be working, or affordability, or other reasons, if that northern section of Salem and you want quiet, the Jan Rhee area is going to be right for you. Now again, I'm making these videos for you so it eases the transition for your move here. You're better informed before you make the move here. When I made the move here, there wasn't a whole lot of videos. There wasn't a lot of information about Salem. And that's why I do these videos. As a reminder, I'm Dave Fine with the Real Estate Dads at eXp Realty. If you are thinking about making the move to Salem, Oregon and wanting to buy a home, hit me up at the contact information popping up or in the description below. I've helped many clients move here. I know what you're going through because I relocated here. I'm not local. I know what it's like to move to another city. I know what it's like to move specifically to Salem and try to find the right area for you. If you like these videos and want more about lifestyles, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button to get this video out to more people like yourselves thinking about moving here. Ask me questions in the comments too. I can be reached there as well. The next category we're going to jump into is for people that want a lifestyle that gives them easy access to the downtown area. That may be because you think you're going to be frequenting downtown a ton for entertainment, shopping, dining, or maybe you work in one of the government agencies, whether it's state or local. You've got the state capitol there, of course, and a bunch of other government facilities in and around right there in the downtown area. Or maybe you just like that vibe. You want to be closer to the city center. Well, this section is going to be for you. Let's talk specifically downtown itself. There's not a lot of options. I'm going to put that right here up front. Certainly, there's no single-family homes right in the downtown area, and there's only a few condos that you can actually purchase in the downtown area. And for that matter, there's only a few apartment complexes in the downtown area. There's not a lot of options. So if you're looking to be right in the hub, right in the downtown area, it's going to be a little bit tricky, a little bit challenging, because a lot of these places don't necessarily come up very often. So when they do, they kind of get snatched up. So just know, if you are going to be looking in that downtown area where you just want to walk out your door and have free reign, right access to the restaurants, the entertainment, the indoor shopping mall, if you just want to be able to walk to work, bike to work, or just have a 2-block commute to work to the state capitol or other government facilities, then just know that there is a spot for you, and it is in the downtown area, but it's going to be condos or apartments, and you're going to have to jump on them when they become available. So with that being said, let's move just outside of downtown area where you're just a couple of blocks away, and making it still easy access for people that want to stroll over there, jump on a bike, a scooter, jog, short car drive, whatever it is, however you can get there mobily. we are going to be talking about Bush's Pasture Park. And if you see my other videos, you know what I like about this neighborhood. And this is one of the neighborhoods that we were seriously considering because we thought maybe we'd like to live closer to the downtown area. We moved from a big city. We weren't really close to the downtown area for good reason. We couldn't stand the large city downtowns, but Salem downtown is charming, at least for us. It's 7 square blocks or so. 4 of those are dedicated for that shopping entertainment district. The rest, I'd say, are more government buildings and facilities. But we love going downtown, and we thought it may be cool to live in a neighborhood where we can just stroll on in. Turns out that in the end wasn't what we really wanted. We wanted that more quiet neighborhood. Now, Bush's Pasture Park, it is quiet in general, but people do cut through it and people come visit this neighborhood a lot because of the big cornerstone, what the foundation of this neighborhood, which is Bush's Pasture Park. It is a large park right in the center of this neighborhood and super close to the downtown area. And they host a lot of cool events here. They've got the Summertime Art Festival. There's a museum there, a beautiful rose garden, a gazebo, big open field space, creekside hiking trails, sports complexes. It's adjacent to the Willamette University baseball fields, track. And so there's a lot going on here that draw people here. And for us, it wasn't the right thing. But for people that like that energy, this is great. And like that Fairmont Hill area, they also have that Pacific Northwest charm, that West Coast craftsman style bungalow homes, older homes that are beautiful, tree-lined, oak trees everywhere. People love their spring flowers in this neighborhood. So you see in the springtime, the colors really pop and bloom here. And with easy access to Bush's Pasture Park and the Deepwood Estates, it's no wonder why so many people choose this neighborhood to live in. There's also another park that's really close called Let's All Play that has an awesome playground for kids. Bush's Pasture Park has a little bit of a smaller playground, but in any way you slice it, beautiful neighborhood, super close to downtown for all your amenities and your entertainment. And again, if you want to have basically zero commute and you find yourself downtown, this is one of those neighborhoods you're going to be in. Now, of the 2 neighborhoods that are adjacent to the neighborhood, this is going to be your more expensive. This is just south of the downtown area, going to be more expensive than the next neighborhood we're going to talk about, and that is the Grant kind of Highland area, which is also adjacent to the downtown area, just to the north. Now, the similarities are in the style of homes, craftsman style, bungalow homes, older homes, that charm. Where they differ is the size of the home and the size of the lots. If you want something a little bit smaller, maybe a little bit more affordable, but super close to the downtown area, then Grant and the Highland areas are going to be right for you. Like Bush's Pasture Park, I didn't mention this. They have historic districts, historic sections in these areas, so that's kind of a cool thing too. There are some restrictions when it comes to owning a home with that, but it does keep all of the homes in the neighborhood in line with that historic feel, so that's awesome. What I like about this, again, is for people that want to have easy access to downtown work or stroll in for a quick bite or quick shopping excursion in the indoor mall, or just have a nice great cup of coffee at one of the many really cool local coffee spots we have downtown, or hit up a bakery or whatever it is that you want to do in downtown. This puts you really close to the downtown area as well. Where both these neighborhoods really shine is especially if you're coming from a large city and you still want to be close to the center city buzz and vibe. Maybe you don't want to commute, then both of these have you covered and will give you that feel that you may be looking for. Coming up in this video, we're going to be talking about neighborhoods that have the easiest commute and neighborhoods that are really super close to your day-to-day amenities. But before that, I want to hit up the luxury category because I do have a lot of clients reaching out looking specifically for those neighborhoods, and they think Salem may not have those, and people don't necessarily equate luxury with Salem, but we have large luxurious neighborhoods in and around all throughout Salem. But the 2 big ones that people kind of are drawn to that I end up showing a lot are Illahee Hills and Croissant Mountain. We're going to start with Illahee Hills, and that is in South Salem. Actually, they both are, but this one is off of River Road, and it's tucked away. It's about as southwest as you can go in Salem, along the river. And this is a combination of large estate style homes that have massive properties. You have acreage out here, and big style, old, charming homes here, as well as a golf course community and a community that has hillside property that has really beautiful views of the valley, the river, and little parts of the downtown area. So if you're looking for something a little bit more luxurious, quiet, tucked away, so if you are looking for something that's more luxurious, quiet, and tucked away, this is a great neighborhood for you. Now, this is going to put you a little bit further out to amenities and such, and further out from the downtown area. But a lot of times, the luxury neighborhoods in Salem, that's where it's gonna take you. What I like about this particular area is it kind of offers you three different lifestyles with the kind of like luxurious feel. As I mentioned, you've got these acreage properties, acreage estates that there's not a lot of them in this particular area. So when they come up, they're rare to come up. But these have so much space between the homes out here. These properties here are so grand and so unique for Salem that people who want that type of lifestyle gravitate towards here. If you're looking more for that golf course community, but more of luxurious community, we've got the Illahee Hills Golf Club, which is a private golf club, belong to the HOA to play here. And so you don't have a lot of public access here. It's one of the more luxurious golf clubs. They've got a beautiful outdoor pool area, and they've got a lot of great places to host private events. And then if you go up into the hills, you feel really away from it all. Some have some beautiful views and just these rolling streets and these curving streets. So it's not only just luxurious, but it's also really quiet. I also want to touch on Croissant Mountain. Now, this is an interesting neighborhood. It's right at the foot of this neighborhood. You've got a really cool park here in Nelson Park. Beautiful, especially in the fall. It's one of those parks, again, where not a lot of people are going to unless you live in the neighborhood. But you go up this private road and into the Croissant Mountain area. And here you have these large estate-style homes. Now, you don't have necessarily big acreage in this hill. This is basically a hilltop community in this area, but again, large estate style homes, and they're just beautiful, tree lined. Some of these homes have amazing views of the valley and the river. As far as luxury and peace and quiet, this probably is top notch because there's only one road in and out of this neighborhood. That is it. It's a private road as well. I will say, when it does snow here, occasionally, once or twice a year, a little icy, could be dicey to get up and down that road, or you may just be waiting for that to thaw out before you attempt to. So that's kind of the downside. But as far as luxuriousness goes, is that even a word? And being quiet and big estate style properties, this is going to be the right fit for you if that's what you're looking for. This puts you also a little bit closer to amenities, but not all that close. But again, that's just kind of what comes with luxury lifestyle. I wasn't going to talk about this, but I'm going to do a quick shout out to one neighborhood we already talked about, and that's Fairmont Hill. I don't know if I classify as luxurious, but it is super high end. It is going to be high end as far as price range goes, because the homes are larger. That old Pacific Northwest charm, and so as far as, I don't know, I'm kind of torn if I should throw it in this luxury category, but certainly it's on the higher end of neighborhoods. So if you are looking for that and the quietness, Fairmont Hill fits that as well. Now we're going to jump into neighborhoods for people that are looking for easy commutes for their lifestyle here in Salem, Oregon. Now, some of these neighborhoods may be repeat, as you've seen before. They can fit multiple categories, so that's kind of a bonus if you're looking for maybe several different lifestyles to blend together. And as far as easy commutes we are going to start with a repeat one just to kind of get it out of the way. I won't go too much into detail since we already talked about it, and that's the Grant Highland area, just north of the downtown area. What makes it easy as far as commute goes is, of course, we talked about how easy it is to get into the downtown area, but it's more than that too, because you are closer. You're kind of in this little neighborhood that's central to the downtown area, easy access to Interstate 5 freeway. You just basically shoot up MLK Parkway, and it just gets you right onto I-5. And you're also really close to Kaiser, which is where a lot of your amenities would be for this particular neighborhood. And so this is why this particular neighborhood would also fall into the easy commute lifestyle neighborhood. Now we're going to jump into a neighborhood that we haven't talked about before, and that is Morningside neighborhood, kind of close to Mission Street. This is in the southern region of Salem, runs along Commercial, and that is a hint of why we give it a neighborhood that's easy access, easy commute for Morningside, because it is adjacent to, it's actually between Commercial Street and Pringle Street / Battle Creek. These are two kind of major streets that run north-south, especially Commercial. This is where you're going to find your day-to-day amenities, your shopping, some restaurants. But Morningside is more than that. It also puts you near Mission Street, which is a nice thoroughfare to go east and west. So in this pocket, you have easy access to go north and south in Salem, east and west in Salem, and it actually puts you fairly close to Interstate 5 freeway as well. So you have several ways to get in and out of this neighborhood to get to pretty much all areas of Salem. So you have different options when we have some of our more heavier traffic times during the rush hour. Again, for me, rush hour is not a huge deal, but that's because of where I came from. We don't have a ton of traffic. If you talk to locals, they will maybe argue with me about this. And yes, with more people moving here, like myself and like you considering, more traffic is occurring. However, so with that said, for those morning hours when people are taking their kids to school or going to work and coming home, this is a great neighborhood for, let's just say, ways to get into your neighborhood so you're not stuck in one route in traffic. You have different options. So that's why this fits into our easy commute access or easy commute neighborhoods. The next neighborhood I'm going to talk about is actually not in Salem. It's just north of Salem in our sister city, Kaiser. And this is the neighborhood if you are living west of River Road, anywhere along there. Again, we're not going to jump into Kaiser so much. That's a different video. I've got a video about that on my channel. But I'm throwing this in there because Salem and Kaiser are kind of synonymous. Yes, they're different cities, but they run together. And so I'm bringing this up because it is an option for someone that wants easy commute, because this, again, runs just like Commercial Street from Morningside. River Road is the street in Kaiser. It has everything you're going to be looking for. That's where everyone goes. So this neighborhood gives you super easy access if you want a supermarket run, restaurant, you're going to a quick bite to eat, a little shopping, or if you're going to go into Kaiser Station, which is the newest outdoor shopping district in and around the region. And depending on how far north you are, it puts you pretty easy access to I-5 freeway, the more north you are along River Road on the west side. So, or not so much the west side, but along River Road. Really easy and clear commute lines. It also gives you a straight shot into Salem and pretty straight shot into the Salem downtown area. So if you are working in one of the government jobs, government facilities, but you want to live in Kaiser, this gives you easy commute. Another easy commute neighborhood would be the North Salem near Market Street. This could actually go into neighborhoods that are close to the downtown area, make it very walkable to access that type of lifestyle. But I'm separating this one just to give it its own due. It doesn't get a lot of notice here in Salem, which is a shame. It's, again, really cool. Some historic homes here, older homes here, craftsman and bungalow style homes. It is a little bit smaller homes, smaller lots, but again, that goes to a little bit more affordable. But what I like about this is extremely easy access to the downtown area. It also puts you a little bit north and east. So if you are someone that goes into the fairgrounds often for events there for whatever reason, it's easy access there. It also puts you close to Kaiser and a bit closer to Interstate 5 freeway and just a little bit closer to Lancaster. So I feel like this, kind of like Morningside in South, this neighborhood gives you access to a lot of different things in Salem. It kind of puts you, I won't say central to Salem, but you have easy access to the downtown area, easier access to I-5, easier access to Kaiser, easier access to some of your amenities, your day-to-day amenities. So that's why this particular neighborhood fits on this list is easy commute neighborhoods. And again, when I'm thinking about easy commutes for neighborhoods and criteria, I'm thinking about different traffic patterns. Commercial Street gets pretty heavy. Liberty Street can get kind of heavy. And all of these neighborhoods give you different access points to kind of get around that, or multiple ways to get in and out of the neighborhood, so you don't only have one option where you're stuck in whatever traffic is happening at that time of the day. Next, we're going to be talking about neighborhoods that have easy access to community amenities. And what I mean by that is like parks and trails and little rec areas and places where people want to gather for easy access to well-used neighborhood parks and outdoor recreation. What a lot of people like about these particular neighborhoods and what people are looking for as far as lifestyle in these neighborhoods are just a lot of green spaces, easy and available access to nature, and just very close to these types of spaces, even close to maybe schools, just really easy going for those types of for this type of lifestyle. It's one of the reasons why we chose our neighborhood. This is what we wanted. And so we're going to go over a list of neighborhoods and areas that will offer you that more of that nature-y feel when living in Salem. We're going to go back to West Salem in the Hills area, and pretty much wherever you go in the Hills section, you're going to have easy access to some sort of walking area, some sort of trail area, whether it's directly in the neighborhood, little trailheads in the neighborhood, or going to one of the little community parks or open spaces. We've got easy access to Orchard Heights Park, which is a nice neighborhood park in the West Salem area, kind of in the Hills area. And you're also surrounded, when you're in the Hills, you're more surrounded by the countryside and farmland. So that's just right next door. So you have this sense of space and sense of nature and just agriculture surrounding you. You also have great views of nature, like the Cascade Mountains, and the snow caps are beautiful when you have these clear, beautiful, sunny days. Many of the streets and neighborhoods are very welcoming for people that like to walk. Yes, you're going to have hills, but that's kind of part of the getting out there and adventure. You see lots of people walking around the neighborhoods, whether with their kids, themselves, or their pets. It just kind of lends to that type of lifestyle. And we're within a few minutes of some of our favorite park spaces, our favorite playgrounds, some little cute walking trails, and we couldn't ask for anything more when it comes to that type of lifestyle in the West Salem Hills portion of West Salem. If you're in South Salem, then you've got Creekside Estates, which we've talked about, and Sunny Slope. Both of these, to me, again, have easy access to natural surroundings and natural settings, very easy access to different park spaces and little walking trails and hiking trails. And so, again, if you're in South Salem, we've talked about these neighborhoods. So again, I won't go into too much detail in this section, but just know if you are into the more of nature, outdoor recreation, close to parks and playgrounds, that these neighborhoods also fit the bill when you're in South Salem. We also talked about Bush's Pasture Park, which I'm going to bring up in this section too. And again, as I mentioned, some of these neighborhoods overlap, and that's a good thing because you can have multiple lifestyles that you're looking for. And so Bush's Pasture Park, when it comes to easy access to outdoor recreation, it doesn't get much more easier than this. Wherever you live in that neighborhood, you're just a couple of blocks away, if not just across the park, away from the park here. Again, big open grass space for just laying out that picnic blanket or tossing the ball around or just having fun. Rose garden to walk through, walking paths, beautiful oak trees, and so much more in this park. So when it comes to easy access to nature, being close to downtown, and you want that old Pacific Northwest charming home, Bush's Pasture Park has you covered. So there's a lot of overlap when it comes to easy access to nature in some of these neighborhoods. But again, that's why a lot of people are drawn to Salem, because there are a lot of neighborhoods that have that have more of a natural setting, more of a natural feel, or at least very easy access to parks and trails and walking paths, or just the neighborhoods themselves make it very inviting to be outdoors and take a stroll, bike ride, skateboard, rollerblade, whatever you're going to do, but just being outdoors, very inviting for these neighborhoods. Now, as I mentioned, when I moved here, there wasn't a whole lot of information for me and my family. My brother lived here. We've been out here a few times. So we had the lay of the land. We had an idea of what we were looking for, but we weren't all that sure or convinced of the exact right neighborhood for the lifestyle we were looking for. In fact, we almost made the mistake. When I say mistake, we were talking about Bush's Pasture Park, which is a beautiful neighborhood, as I mentioned several times throughout this video, for people that are looking for certain lifestyles. But for us, the quiet part was the most important. That's why we ended up choosing the hills in West Salem. But my recommendation and opinion for you is get a sense of know what you want out of your lifestyle, then find your house. House is important, don't get me wrong. As someone who's in real estate, I understand that appeal. But more so than not, I'm talking to people about neighborhoods, lifestyle, what it's like to live in these areas and in Salem in general, surrounding areas. And that's what you really need to go off first. Again, you can make changes to the inside and even the outside of a home. Yes, it costs money, which is something to consider. But when you're looking for a certain way to live, you're not going to be able to pick up your house and move it to another spot. And you certainly don't want to make the mistake where you buy a home and have really quick regrets, because then you may end up losing money if you have to sell that home quickly soon after you bought it and move to another neighborhood. So my biggest advice and opinion for people that are moving to Salem or any area for that matter, take a look at this videos and videos like mine on my channel. And when you come out here, driving tour, I can help you guide you through that as well. And ask me any questions. I can give you my advice on if you're looking for something specific on maybe where to actually purchase your home. So if you're getting anything out of these videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel for more lifestyle videos about Salem and the surrounding areas. Hit the like button if you like what you see here, and ask me questions in the comments. Happy to answer there as well. If you are thinking about making the move to Salem, as a reminder, I'm Dave Fine with the Real Estate Dads at eXp Realty. I love helping people move to and relocate to this awesome city, as I did myself. Hit me up at the contact information popping up right now or in the description, and we can get started on your home purchase here in Salem, Oregon.